If a certain house makes you uncomfortable as soon as you enter it, don't think about it. Hurry up. Man's sixth sense is very spiritual. There will be no warnings for no reason. Today's story takes place in Chongqing. A netizen Xiaofeng went to Dianjiang on a business trip. As a result, I found that a supernatural event had occurred in the house where I lived. Curious, Xiaofeng checked the internet. It was discovered that there had been a very bloody murder in this house. A husband and wife slashed each other with knives in their room for unknown reasons. In the end, they both died at home. Explain the real thing beforehand. This can still be found on the internet. The floors are all red. Don't go and search at night, lest you have nightmares. The worst thing is, Xiaofeng found out after watching the news. The furniture throughout the house doesn't seem to have been replaced. The bed I slept in is just that there's no blood. Everything else is exactly the same as in the news photos. So this has to start from 2012. After graduating from university, Xiaofeng went to work in Chongqing. Then one day in June, he and the company's leaders went to Dianjiang to talk about business. The person in charge of their company in Dianjiang is called Lao Li. Lao Li often needs to come and camp here, firm, in order to save costs. I found him a dormitory, the kind of 2-bedroom, 1-bedroom. Xiaofeng, it won't take long for them to come this time, so in order to save money, I didn't stay in a hotel. 3 people come and squeeze together. Xiaofeng and the leader followed the address to find the dormitory. As a result, the door opened. There was a strange smell coming from the house. Like something moldy. It's a bit fishy again. But the leader didn't smell it. There wasn't even much response. Xiaofeng was a little disgusted by the smoke. It is better to open the window to let in the air. Objectively speaking, the house is quite nice. To the left hand of the entrance is the kitchen and a large balcony. On the right hand is the living room. Directly opposite is the hallway. At the end of the hallway are bedrooms on either side. Furnished perfectly. The decoration is not old either. At most, it will look like 5 or 6 years. But such a nice house. But it doesn't make Xiaofeng feel uncomfortable all the time. It was an inexplicable feeling. The whole house is the living room that Xiaofeng cares about the most. It is similar to the shape of the Leshan giant Buddha. It is estimated that it was a souvenir that the host bought when he went on a tour. The reason why Xiaofeng cares is because the eyes of the Buddha statue are crooked. It looks a little incongruous. It's even a little weird. Xiaofeng and the leader returned to Chongqing the next day after talking. But a week later, Xiaofeng came to Dianjiang again on a business trip. It's going to be a month this time, and it's a coincidence. The staff dormitory where I lived before was occupied. Another colleague, Xiao Wang, moved in. At that time, the company asked Xiaofeng to stay in a hotel, come back for a reimbursement. But Xiaofeng thought that there was still a sofa to sleep on in the dormitory. When the time comes, find some invoices for accommodation outside and go back for reimbursement. Isn't that an extra income? And in order to prevent the sofa from being uncomfortable, Xiaofeng also brought a marching bed of his own. You can sleep that way. But then one day Lao Li and Lao Wang went out, go to another place in Dianjiang to run errands. Before leaving, he said that he should not come back so soon. Anyway, I won't be able to come back in the evening. So he gave the key to Xiaofeng. Let him sleep in the bedroom at night. It must be better to have a bed to sleep on than a couch and a camp bed. Xiaofeng is also very happy. But when he went back to the dormitory that afternoon, dead or alive can't open the door. Can't be twisted. It's like someone in the room is pressing. Could it be that the way it was opened was wrong, or that there was something wrong with the key? Xiaofeng called to find Lao Li. They were ready to ask for the landlord's phone. As a result, these two should be busy. Xiaofeng went to find the upstairs neighbor again. He has 1 ladder and 2 households. No one next door. There's a family upstairs. The owner of the house is an aunt. Very unenthusiastic. Xiaofeng said that he was a resident downstairs. Ask him if he knows what the landlord's phone number is. Auntie casually said no. Then it's time to close. Xiaofeng hurriedly stopped and asked again. I don't know where the landlord lives. The aunt had a strange expression. Said something inexplicable. The landlord is in another world too. Then the door was closed. Lao Wang also called back later. But he also didn't know the landlord's number. The house was rented by the company at the time. Who is responsible? I don't remember it either. No way. Xiaofeng is looking for that kind of small advertisement in the corridor. Got a locksmith. Soon the master came to the door. The door opened with 2 clicks. There is no door lock that cannot be opened. The case that it does not turn around. He tried it again himself. Completely normal. Xiaofeng felt that there was something wrong with this before. Plus the weird smell when I first arrived. I inquired with the master who picked the lock. Master, do you know what's going on in this house? After that, he handed over the cigarette very sensibly. The master was a little hesitant, but in the end, I put the cigarette down. Said to Xiaofeng, alas, it would be better if you still don't know. Otherwise, you may not be able to live there. As soon as I said this, there's no reason why Xiaofeng shouldn't ask to the end. Under Xiaofeng's repeated questioning, the master still said it. This house has been murdered before. Everyone who lives in the neighborhood knows. It was also a sensation at the time. You look it up on the internet, and the master packs his things and leaves. Feels like it's bad luck here when the master is gone. But then I thought about it, wouldn't it be okay to live there before? And Lao Li How long have they lived? Never mind. Don't scare yourself. But he still cares about it. After finishing work at 8 o'clock in the evening, he couldn't help but turn on the computer. I searched the internet, see press images, and when there is a video, Xiaofeng's goosebumps rose all over his body. The furniture in this house is all the same. It seems that there was no change after the case was over. It was just a simple tidying up and rented out. The worst thing is that the bed is completely two beds, swapped each other up. Since Xiao Li and Lao Wang will go out from time to time, he slept in both beds. He was terrified, but I really can't move. I felt my hands and feet stiff. All I wanted was to hurry up, but people sit on the couch all the time. Can't get up at all. He couldn't help but look around. Turn on the TV at the same time. Turn the sound up to the maximum, trying to embolden yourself. When no one is in the house, the TV was really useful. It doesn't matter if it's news or a TV series. As long as someone is talking, it can bring a sense of security. Xiaofeng called Lao Li Xiaowang. He told him that there had been a death in this house before. It's an appointment. We'll see what happens tomorrow. Do you want to move? Then Xiaofeng contacted another one he knew before, buddy who studies Buddhism. I told him about it. The other party told Xiaofeng the door won't open, probably because something doesn't want you in. There's something in you that they're afraid of, something you don't want to see. Feel relieved, nothing serious. If really scared, you can put some Buddhist scriptures. After saying that, I also sent a few documents. After Xiaofeng received it, he hurriedly played it on the computer, while smoking, while listening to the Buddhist scriptures. I thought I would go to bed later, which eye to open. Xiaofeng heard a little strange noise coming from the bedroom. It's an illusion. It's definitely a hallucination. Hallucinations from overtension tonight. Although Xiaofeng thought so in his heart. But I still turned off the sound of the computer with my hands down. Keep an eye in the direction of the hallway and listen carefully. It was the snoring of a man. Came from Xiao Wang's room. It is especially obvious when the sound of Buddhist scriptures and TV is turned off. Xiaofeng is already preparing where to run from. Just wait for your feet to move. He's like a soft-footed shrimp now. The legs are swinging when they stand up, like severe hypoglycemia. Fortunately, I can still move my hand. But he was also thinking, maybe it's better not to run. Isn't it all cool in horror movies that run first? There are still Buddhist scriptures in the living room. There is also a Buddha statue on the TV stand, although it is a skeletal of the squint. In case you meet A Piao in the corridor. Isn't that even more helpless? He was thinking in his heart. If you wait, nothing strange will happen. That's fine. Leave again at dawn. That is, you have to climb out if you climb. It was just stunned. Wait until about 1 o'clock in the evening. The sliding door of the kitchen was closed with a sudden clattering sound. Where did the sound come from? Xiaofeng didn't know. But it's loud. It's like someone is banging on the kitchen door, and the sound is incoherent. A little wind was originally numb hands and feet. Somehow, a force erupted. He's a Dongguan boy-style hurdle. Flip sideways over the couch. Pick up your luggage. Rushing to the door. The moment his hand touched the doorknob, there was an extremely harsh sound coming from the kitchen. It's like a knife cutting through glass. Xiaofeng almost fainted. Too scared. The door won't open. Finally opened the door. He rushed out at once. The door is not closed. He doesn't even remember. It's like running for your life until you run out of the gate of the community. He felt like he had survived. I don't have the courage to look back and see it later. He found a small hotel to stay in. The next day, Xiaofeng and Lao Li Xiaowang rendezvous and talked about the supernatural events that happened last night. Originally, he even thought that these two would laugh at his cowardice. But after hearing this, they were also obviously frightened. Lao Li and Xiaofeng said that TV in the house is broken. They never opened. Later, I unplugged the power supply. They found out afterwards when they inquired. The house was rented out by the couple's elders. Rent is cheap. Most of the locals know about this and don't come to rent. It is specialized in deceiving outsiders. It used to be lived next door. Later, it was haunted before leaving. Afterwards, Lao Li and the landlord's mother-in-law said that they wanted to check out. The other party happily agreed. The three of them gathered. I dared to go back to pack my luggage during the day. And after that, Xiaofeng's body has also deteriorated a lot. Mental malaise. It lasted a few months. After that, he never came to Dianjiang again.